Hey gang, it's Kyle from Smokin Paleos. It's about 5:45 on a Sunday morning, and I'm looking forward to a great day because I have a Texas-style pork shoulder to complete today. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride and show you what all we did with it. This is one that I picked up at the local grocery store about a week ago. It was on sale, put it in the freezer, got it thawing a couple of days ago, and then got it seasoned with a nice Texas-style seasoning. We went down with the salt, the pepper, and then I added just a little bit of garlic for flavor and some paprika to give it that rich mahogany look. It's about 7 pounds, and we're going to be cooking it on our Chargriller offset smoker today, bringing it up to about 160 degrees, and then we're going to wrap it in the butcher paper and put it in our Masterbuilt propane smoker to take it on up into that 200 range. It's going to be a great day. It's a little bit chilly outside, that's why you see I got the thermal on, but I'm excited, so let's get to cooking. So the first thing that we need to do today is get our coals lit. I'm using B&B charcoal, the oak style lump briquettes for the very first time today, and I'm pretty excited about it to see how they do. So once I get that fire going and that chimney really gets to ashing over and you get to see some of that red hot heat, I know we're ready to go. So once the charcoal starts to ash over and our fire's good and hot in the chimney, we're going to take it on over to the smoker and we're going to pour it inside the firebox. And as you can see in my charcoal basket, I have sectioned off a little space that has no charcoal in it. That's where I'm going to dump the hot coals. Now the rest of the basket has unlit coals, and this is kind of how I'm going to use a minion method here on this offset smoker. Once we get that in there, we're going to toss on a couple of chunks of post oak wood to make this true Texas style barbecue, and this post oak I was able to find when I picked up my B&B charcoal as well. We're going to be cooking today at about 250 degrees throughout the entirety of the smoke. So once I get my pit up to temperature, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw this pork on there, and it's going to take about 5 to 6 hours to get that. All right, it's been about 5 hours since we put our pork shoulder on this morning. The sun is out, the coffee's finally kicked in, so I'm a little bit more awake. And we've had it running about 225 to 250 on the smoker I lovingly refer to as the 426 here. You really can't tell it because we're in the shadows, but it's been painted a burnt orange color, and this thing burns fuel like what I'd imagine an old 426 Hemi would. So let's go ahead, we're going to get ready to take this off, wrap it so we can go ahead and finish it up and get it past the stall. And there you kind of see what we have going on right there. It's very good, caramelized on the outside. Looks great. The paprika's really done a nice job making this thing just a bit red, just giving it that little bit of extra color that we've been looking for. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull it off of this pit. Now that we've smoked it with our post oak wood, we're going to wrap it in some red butcher paper, and we're going to take it on up into about the 200 to 205 degree range. And to do that, we're going to use a smoker I like to call Old Faithful. This is my Masterbuilt propane smoker, and it makes things quite a bit easier because it runs off of propane. You're not having to constantly tend to the fire. Now the 426, it's had a little bit of trouble today. It's been a little bit unseasonably cold here in St. Louis, and the wind's been knocking around a little bit, so she's required quite a bit of attention this morning. Since we really can't get any more wood or smoky flavor on the pork butt, we're going to go ahead and fire it right on in here to the propane smoker and continue on from there. We'll get a shot when we put it in and get it ready to go up to 200. All right, we just got our pork wrapped up in the butcher paper, and we got it back on Old Faithful here. Open it up and take a look-see here. You can see a little bit of smoke. And you'll notice something I got on the lower shelf, and that's actually a brisket I'm doing for another project. But then up here is where the actual pork is sitting right now. And you might see a ton of different wires going here. That's because I've got 2 different thermometers going in a total of 6 probes. So on the front door here, I've got my Thermal Pro, and that's keeping an eye on the temperature inside the pit itself. That's this thermometer right up here. So I guess 5 probes. And then I've got 2 probes each, one in the beef brisket below and one in the pork above, going up to my More Pilot right up here. This is a really cool wireless barbecue thermometer. It comes with a nice app that you can use on your phone. Really makes things handy so you can kind of walk away and still keep an eye on things. So as you can see, it's kind of cycling through. We've got a long way to go to get up to our target temperatures up in the 200s. So we're just going to kind of let Old Faithful sit here and do her magic and keep an eye on things. And then when it gets close, we'll come on out, bring it out, and hopefully have some nice shredded pork when we're all said and done. And by that beeping, you can tell that we are done. We hit an internal temperature of about 201 degrees right there. So we are going to go ahead and get this pulled out and let it rest for about an hour, hour and a half. It's been awfully challenging today with the weather, with the wind, but good news is we should have some good shredded pork here in just a minute. Just a long cook with all the stuff that we had to deal with today. So if we can find the bone. Oh yeah. It didn't come out as easy as I thought it would. Ah, there we go. Peeled right off. That bone will be clean here in just a minute. Right there we go. Butcher paper did its job. And now we have a very clean pork butt. Right there we go.